If you're watching this video, you probably have a P squared, a procrastinated project. My P squared is my Voron 2.4 build from 3 years ago. I know, but today we're gonna do something about it. Before we get started, I think we need a table. A nice and sturdy surface to build this thing. A huge thank you to FlexiSpot for sending over a standing desk to kickstart this build. You'll never understand the convenience of a standing desk until you've tried one yourself. Whether you like to stand or walk while you work, or you're building something at inconvenient heights, this adjustable desk adapts for you and your task rather than the other way around. The full weight build suits my little filming corner perfectly, while also making for a nice clean backdrop for my research paper photos. With a 55 by 28-inch desktop, I've literally never had a work surface this big for my projects. The smooth electric height adjustment powered by a single motor and transmission rod lets you raise or lower the desk without things falling off, which is perfect if you're in the middle of a project with many loose ends or have a multi-monitor setup. The single motor also gets rid of a whole bunch of cable spaghetti like in the other standing desk that I have. Its industrial-grade steel frame includes stability and support, and the solid desktop can handle a weight of up to 176 pounds. That's totally enough to lift a superhero and their 3D printer. I also enjoy that the desktop comes in one piece, making for a smooth and flat surface, rather than my other standing desktop that came in 4 pieces with clear seams. The 4 memory presets on this desk allow you to store and recall different height settings, switching between sitting, standing, and in between. If you're worried about installation, honestly don't be. The desk took me under 30 minutes to build with an easy to follow instruction booklet provided directly in the box. If you're looking to elevate how you work and build, get it? Elevate? Because it's a standing desk? Check out FlexiSpot's standing desk options on Amazon. And if you're curious, I've featured a link below, deals for the upcoming Amazon Prime Day. Thank you again to FlexiSpot for sending this desk. Now let's get back into the build. I can't believe it's taken me this long. My basement has recently been riddled with spiders, so I hope we don't run into any during this build. Oh my god, I think there's a spider in this box. Let's get rid of this little guy. I don't feel too good, Mr. Stark. How long have I been out for? Oh my god, is that the time? Oh no. Well, let's see what we can do in an hour. Why can't I let go of the glove? Ugh. This is gonna be tough. At this point, I think we can guess what the theme of the build will be. And in case it's not clear, welcome to the whiteboard corner. Given that this will be a multi-video build, I think it's a good idea to get clear on what kind of features this printer will have to make it Spider-Man themed. Starting off with number 4, a red and blue colorway. I printed all the main components of the Voron in matte red and blue thanks to a user on Discord, part of the Voron community. Alright, feature number 3. We're working backwards. Spider/web themed art on the custom panels of the Voron. I think it would be really cool to have some kind of design on the side panels of the printer so it doesn't look like any other stock Voron. Number 2. A spiderweb bed. There are plenty of custom build platforms out there, specifically where you can laser engrave like any pattern on them. And last but not least, a Spider-Man toolhead. I mean, of course I'm gonna put Spider-Man eyes on the 3D printer toolhead. Come on. Also, through a MIDI to G-code converter, it's possible to have your printer play music. How fun would it be at the start or end of a print to have the gantry play the Amazing Spider-Man theme? We'll have to find out if that's possible. And that brings us to the name. I will be calling this custom build Spider Purge. Let's do this thing. That's what I'm talking about. With great power comes great responsibility. That being said, the frame is a critical step in your Voron build. If you don't make sure it's square and flush at all corners, you're going to have issues later on in both the assembly and future running of the printer. I am following the Voron build instructions, and it's filled with QR codes linking to video resources explaining the best methods for joining the frame extrusions. I'm also using a surface I know is flat and a woodworking right angle. A machinist block would probably be better, or any other item that you know has a flat or level surface. The corners of the frame are made using blind joints and M6 bolts that then you're able to reach through the holes of other aluminum extrusions to tighten. This was about the time that I realized an extended hex bit would be amazing for my driver, so I can actually reach the bolts. My main issue was that the Allen key was hitting the table, so I had to move the corner to the edge without lifting it off the surface, such that I could twist the Allen key, which was very difficult in the Spider-Man suit. Everything was slippery and hard to grip, and with 1 hour before my flight, why did I think that was a good idea? We're making some real progress over here. We're on the last frame step, attaching these cross members onto the base of the printer. I just need to grab the shims, attach it, and then catch my flight. I organized all the hardware the kit came with in this nice little box. Highly recommend you do that. No one warns you how hard it is to do simple tasks in a Spider-Man suit, like even opening plastic bags. You need to measure half the printer width, and then from that half, 65 centimeters over, we'll attach the cross members. We're working with 3:31 a.m. 65. Now let's mark the other side. Oh my gosh, I can't even pick up the washers. Oh, got it. Everything is just so hard to grab and hold with the Spider-Man suit. And just like that, the frame is complete. Okay, but real talk, who's gonna help me get out of this thing? I'm in Banff. Have any of you been in Banff? I think we should take a walk. Sometimes big projects don't end up panning out like how you'd expect. Like, for example, did I think my research presentation was gonna take that long? No. And now I'm in Banff with only the frame done on the Voron build. But sometimes you have to stop and smell the roses. And in this case, when I say roses, I really mean mountains. The view here is insane. I had my conference presentation today and it went super well. I was excited to see about 21 people in the audience, and we got about 4 or 5 really solid questions and some ideas on how to move forward and validate experiments. It's a step forward towards my 3-minute thesis video. This channel has grown so much at the intersection of my creative hobbies and life as a student working on a thesis. As much as I get really bummed out that sometimes I can't complete full projects due to balancing those things, I need to allow myself to appreciate everything that the thesis has made possible, as well as the creative projects too. I hope this video at least inspired you to get started on a project you've been procrastinating. It is never too late to start building. Anyway, I'll catch you in part 2 of the Voron build. Thanks for watching.